Overclocking your monitor. Is it worth it? And is it possible? And is it safe?
You think this is your time?
Hello, fun noobsters, Game Noobster. Welcome back to another video. And today's video, we're gonna teach you how to overclock your monitor if you're using an NVIDIA graphics card. Now, if you're using an AMD graphics card, don't feel left out. It's just I don't currently use an AMD graphics card, so I cannot teach you how to do this. At least not yet. Now, if you are an AMD user, I will try to link a AMD version, an AMD guy on how to overclock your monitor. And yeah, but if you're an NVIDIA user and you want to learn and you just want to try it out, or if you're just interested, then just keep watching. So basically what overclocking your monitor means is you're making your monitor produce a certain attribute that is not defaulted by or manufactured by normally. Basically that means refresh rate. Basically you can if you guys know, when you buy a TV, it'll sometimes say that the TV's 60 hertz, 120 hertz, 144 hertz. And basically what that means is 1 hertz basically equals 1 frame per second in basic law, basic monitor law basically. And basically the more FPS you can show on your monitor, the smoother the picture looks and the better your gaming experience can be usually. Now, basically refresh rate is basically how many hertz your monitor can produce per second basically. So if you have a 60 hertz monitor, you can see with your eye on the monitor 60 frames per second or 60 hertz thing. Now, you can also overclock the resolution of your monitor, but this is not 100% recommended because it can have some weird side effects, and I will go over that because that is part of overclocking your monitor. And yeah, so let's get into this. So basically what you want to do is you want to right click and you should be running the latest driver. If you're not, go to nvidia.com and find your graphics card and then download your latest driver. Now this control panel goes for like ages back, so it doesn't matter, but it'll give you the most compatibility. Basically you just want to click on NVIDIA control panel and usually this screen will pop up. Now, don't bother at looking at the custom, just imagine that we are on this one right here, right here. So your monitor will probably look like this. It will just have Ultra HD, HD, and SE. Then you'll usually be selected on the native, and you can see the refresh rate here, right? 60 and 59, and because mine's a TV, I have 59 because some channels do it in 50 hertz. And you can see this is where we have our two monitors, and I will be overclocking both monitors. And yeah, so basically what you want to do is you want to click customize, and you won't have these three. These are my custom overclocks. But basically before you want to do that, you want to basically click this and make sure this is checked, and click OK, and then go back into customize and then click. And I'm just gonna delete these real quick. If you see black screen, that's normal. It's because I'm deleting these. So basically yours should look like this after you click this and click OK and then come back. Basically what you want to do is you want to click custom resolution. Now don't mess with the horizontal pixels or vertical lines at all yet. Basically your refresh rate, this will be the basic one that you have on your monitor already. Now yours may be 60, 75, 120, 144, or even 160, or even higher, but if it's any higher than 144 hertz, if it's 144 hertz or higher, this really isn't applicable to you unless you really want to get those extra hertz out of your monitor. Now you want to keep this on progressive because it's going to keep the monitor from having weird effects. So basically all you want to do is you want to go up basically, and you want to basically from your current refresh rate. So if it was 60, you want to go up in 5 hertz increments, basically meaning 65, and then you want to click test. Now when you click test, if your screen comes up and it comes up like this and everything looks fine, you gotta make sure everything looks fine. Then you click yes, and then your monitor will have some black screening, and that's normal, right? Now, now, right there, if that worked for you, great. That means you have officially overclocked your monitor. Now, we're not just gonna stay there. You know, we know it can work with 65 hertz. Let's try and bump that up to 70 hertz. Then we click test. Then black screen. And then if it comes up, everything looks fine. There's no, and you drag around this and nothing looks weird. Click yes, you want to save. Okay, now you overclocked it again. Now you're running 70 hertz, which now means you can run 70 frames per second at a time. So think about that. You were at 60 frames per second per second. Now you can do 70 frames per second. Now we're just gonna keep doing this until we get to the point where our monitor just stops working. So right here you can see it works fine. All the colors are correct, and you want to click yes. And then you have your black screen, and then boom, you overclocked even more. Now, last time I tried 80, it did not work out very well on my monitor. So this is probably what's gonna happen when you have a bad overclock. But oh, okay. So actually, somehow I was able to get my monitor to work at 80 frames per second. As you can see, 80 frames per second. I want to save that. I obviously want to save that because that is actually pretty good. Now, we're just gonna keep going up 5 at a time. And then, okay, so this, you might not see it on your thing. Might not see it on the recording, but it does not work. So I'm gonna click no. It looks really weird. And I will get a photo of it not working. Okay, so this is what happens when you get a bad overclock. As you can see, there's a lot of like jittering and it's not very good looking. And then you have this like weird thing over here. And this is trying it out at 85 hertz, as you can tell up there. So yeah, that's what happens when you get a bad overclock usually. Basically, we're just gonna cancel that. Click OK. So now, once you click OK, you'll have this part. And basically you'll have this bar, and basically you can click any of these, and obviously you want to go with the one that was the most stable. So we're gonna go to 80 hertz, and then we're gonna click apply. You're gonna get your black screen, and you're gonna want to click yes. And then you can see that you are gonna be in this down here. You don't really have to worry about. You can, if it's on default, keep it on default. If it's on NVIDIA, keep it on NVIDIA. And then, as you can see, everything is fine. Everything seems to work fine. And then basically what you want to do, you want to search up Hertz test, the HZ test in Google, Bing, whatever. And the first one should be testufo.com. And then basically it's gonna go through your computer, and it's gonna try and find what your monitor's refresh rate is running at. Okay guys, so recording with OBS for some reason has a problem and is making the thing stutter. As you can see, it basically would do that. But I have made sure, and 80 hertz or 80 FPS does work, as you can see, and it will basically give you like a rundown and tell you how everything is, and basically if it's running what you overclocked it to, that's good. With that clip before on my phone, you saw that it was running at 80 hertz, which was the overclock, and I'm actually very surprised because I don't remember ever running 80 hertz before. Now, I did say we are going to overclock resolution. Now, there's two ways you can do this, and for some reason I can only do it in one way. And so basically what we're going to try and do is I'm going to try and overclock this to 1440p. Now, let me give you some basic knowledge though. When you overclock it to 1440p/2K, it's not actually going to be 1440p. It's just going to be a crisper version, 1080p, and it's going to make your video games look very crisp, and it's going to make all your movies and videos and everything look extremely crisp. But it is not a true 1440p panel. It's not going to make it, it's not going to be like, oh, you can buy a $100 1080p monitor and then you can turn it into a $300 4K monitor. That's not what's going to actually happen. That's just what you can do. So I'm going to try this, and I don't think this will work because I tested it before. Now, as you can see, it looks like it works, and it does technically work if I were to try it. But then it glitches though. See, then it gets this glitch thing, and then everything is just screwed up. Okay, but as you saw, the 2560 by 1440 did not work. If you can overclock your resolution, and it works fine and it looks fine, that's good for you. And if you want to, you can keep it. But there is one other way you can technically overclock your monitor, the graphics monitor, and it's not true overclocking, but basically here you can go to DSR and then factors, and then you can just click on whichever one. Now I have experimented and they do work. They're almost 100% guaranteed to work on your monitor. And basically it does change your monitor resolution and does increase it, but it's not true overclocking the resolution because then everything becomes a little more blurry. So I would recommend not doing it, unless you just want to do it for like, just for no reason, because it makes text very blurry looking sometimes, and so I would recommend not doing it. But if you have a lot of horsepower and you're going to get a monitor later on, not a bad idea, because when you're actually using it in video games, it does not seem very blurry. It does not get too blurry at all. And it actually does make the game look better. Now, if you're just a true gamer, yes, and you have a lot of horsepower, like you got a GTX 980 Ti, or GTX 1080 or 1080 Ti, or even the new RTX cards. This is a pretty good option if you have a 1080p monitor, and you just want to try it out. It's a good option. Now, if you have a 1440p monitor or a 4K monitor already, keep it off. You're not gonna need it, and it's not gonna really benefit you almost at all. So I would recommend keeping that off, unless you want to try it out. And basically, yeah, that's all that we learned. That's how you overclock, and I hope you guys get good overclocks. And if you do this yourself, leave a comment on what you overclocked and how much you were able to overclock it. So let's say you have a 1080p monitor. Let's say you were able to overclock it from 60 Hz to 90 Hz. Comment that down. Let's say you got a 1080p monitor and you were able to get it up to 2560 by 1440p overclock. Put it down in the comments. I would love to hear y'all's overclocks, and remember, if you like this video, remember like, subscribe, and comment, and Noobster out.